Welcome to the stream, GameWeek 1. It's only 3 hours away, 3 hours and 3 minutes until the GameWeek 1 deadline. So still time to make the final decisions. My team is pretty much locked in. Lamin single, double up on the Arsenal defense with Calafiori and Gabriel. I have Trey Hume, differential, Florian Wirtz in, Mbumo, Bruno Fernandes, my captain, and I have Semenyo as my attacking cover from Man City. Up front, Joe Pedro. I have Alexander Isak and Calvert-Lewin. So going a bit different. No Erling Haaland in this team, and including a couple of differentials. So on the bench, I have Tavernier as well. He's on the bench. Tough game for Bournemouth playing against Man City, so he can easily be benched for me in game week 1. But in game week 2, I will play my bench boost, and I will have both Petrovic and Tavernier at home against Everton. So Bournemouth, historically a really good team at home, so hopefully this will continue in the 26-27 season. So this is my team at the moment. Can't really see it changing that much. There are a couple of spots I'm not 100% sure on, so I can potentially do Gabriel and Trey Hume to Guardiola and Van Dijk, but at the moment this is my team for game week 1. 3 hours left, might still change, but I feel confident about this team at the moment. So if you're interested in having your team reviewed, head over to X, post a picture of your latest team selection under my latest post, and you can of course potentially just write text version in the chat as well. James Ball, Maguire, Viskovic or Ballard. I think I would go Maguire considering the fixtures. So De Ligt still some weeks away. I think Maguire is nailed on, but definitely nailed on with De Ligt not match fit. So at the start of the season, Maguire, I think he looks really, really good value. And this is one of the reasons why Lammens is my goalkeeper for the start of the season. So Maguire, I like those other options as well, Viskovic, Ballard, all of them with potential for defensive contribution points, but kind of similar players, similar price, 5 million, but considering the fixtures, I think I would go for Maguire. Hey, can you rate my team from Edvix? Definitely. So have you posted on X? It's definitely possible to have your team rated. Head over to X, post a picture under my latest post, and we'll get your team up on the screen. So Edvix, let's have a look. This is not it, right? This is verified link live stream for football. Not really interested in that one. But head over to X, find this post, the game week 1 deadline stream, and post a picture of your team below. I just sent now. Nice. Let's just refresh this, see what happens. Can't see your team at the moment. Maybe I just had to wait. 2 hours 58 minutes. Let's see if we can find Edwig's team. There we go. Free hit in game week 3. Wildcard in game week 4. So no Erling Haaland team, and this is probably the reason why you're considering a free hit in game week 3. So Arsenal, they will play against Chelsea, so we will avoid having Joe Pedro play against your Arsenal defenders. Triple up on the Arsenal defense with Raya, White, Mosquera. So considering the fact that you're going to use your free hit in game week 3 and wildcard in game week 4, it's probably fine to start with both Ben White and Mosquera, but at some point both of them will become rotation threats. So Konsa will most probably be an Arsenal player and eat into Mosquera's minutes, and Timber, he will be back in a couple of weeks as well. So, but for the start of the season, Ben White, Mosquera, definitely really good options, priced at 5.5. So triple up on the Arsenal defense, and they will most probably, at least they are the bookies' favorites to keep a clean sheet in game week 1. So they will most probably get you at least 18 points. So on 9, another solid option, and we have Luke Shaw against Hull as well. So a really solid defense. 4-3-3 with Florian Wirtz, Bruno Fernandes and Bumo. Captain Bruno Fernandes, same as my captain. And up front we have Pedro, Alexander Isak and Richarlison. So with this team, I would actually consider picking another forward. Richarlison, will he start up front? So the latest news from the Spurs camp is that Solanke, he is actually fit and he will most probably start. So Richarlison, he might start as well, but can't really see both Solanke and Richarlison playing up front. So this would potentially mean that Richarlison playing a bit more to the left. But on the bench, we have a triple up on Brighton. Verbruggen, Vuskovic, Ayari and Cole Palmer is on the bench as well. So a really, really solid team. Ayari, haven't seen him in too many drafts. How high ownership does he really have? I think Gomez, especially considering the fact that he is only priced at 5 million. Let's have a quick look at Ayari as well. Ayari 5.5. Vish Malhotra sending my team, bro. Nice. Irish Pit Terrier, thanks for joining in. We have Edwig's, and this is Edwig's team currently on the screen. Solanke fit. Yes, Solanke, he is good to go. So we got some information about Spurs today, and Solanke, he is fit. Pedro Porro, he will miss out, and the same goes for Xavi Simons. So Solanke will most probably start up front for Spurs, considering the fact that he has been praised during the preseason. So Richarlison, I'm not really sure if he is the best option up front, to be honest. Hey, I sent my team to nice. Let's have a look at a couple of other teams as well. This is Vish Malhotra. Let's see if we can fit this in. So it's a rotation with Kinski and Verbruggen. I think this is a good combination. 4.5, both will start, both decent options. So Ballard is in as well. A really good 5 million option. Calafiore is in, Maguire, Ayer, Defcon Merchant, and we have 4 million defender O'Shea. Pascal Gross, 5.5 midfielder from Brighton. Solis, 6.5 Arsenal, really good option, especially in game week 1, considering the fact that they will play at home against newly promoted Coventry. Bruno Fernandes and Bumo, Kevin Schade is in. I really like Kevin Schade. He's been in a couple of my drafts as well, so it's really, really interesting and only selected by 3.5% of the managers. So it's nice to have a couple of differentials in. Erling Haaland, Pedro, and Igor Jesus, another differential. So I really like this team, to be honest. Vish Malhotra, I think this team looks really good. And it's a bench boost team, right? Let's see how this looks. Bench boost in game week 1 with this team. I think it looks really, really strong, especially considering that you have both Bruno Fernandes and Erling Haaland. Really solid, safe options, but you have a couple of really good differentials in there as well. So Pascal Gross 5.5 on penalties for Brighton. Solis is not to be considered as a differential because his ownership has gone up especially since Sunday in the Community Shield. But Igor Jesus, Kevin Schade, players with a really high ceiling, and I think this looks good. Would you suggest any changes in this? Maybe O'Shea to Diop. I think Diop is the preferred option, but I think it's really close between them, to be honest. I think if you've had O'Shea for a couple of days, I think you should just stick with O'Shea, to be honest, because it would be really, really annoying if O'Shea actually is the one who delivers the bullet header in game week 1 and you change to Diop 2 hours and 51 minutes ahead of the deadline. So it kind of depends on how long you have had O'Shea in your team, but I think it's really close between them, and both of them are equally good options, in my opinion. So a really solid team. I like Ballard as well. Can get defensive contributions, and of course, as we saw actually in game week 1 against West Ham in the 25-26 season, he can get attacking returns as well. So Ballard, definitely one to consider. He was actually injured. I think he got injured early on in the 25-26 season, but he is fit and he will definitely start for Sunderland. I remember this vividly because in game week 1 last season, I actually captained Jared Bowen playing against Sunderland, and Sunderland, they kept a clean sheet, and I think they won 2-0, 3-0. Let me know in the chat. Wish Malhotra cool. Any other suggestions? I can't really fault this team. Of course, the safest option would be to go for Calvert-Lewin as your 6 million forward, but if you have a feeling that Igor Jesus will do well, I think you should just stick with this team, to be honest. So there are a lot of good options in there. You can potentially have a decent rotation between Pascal Gross and Kevin Schade in the next couple of game weeks as well. You think Richarlison starts? I think Richarlison potentially will start, but I don't consider Richarlison as a good option, especially after the news from today's press conferences. So the fact that Solanke is fit, I think this means A, that Richarlison will start and play like 60 minutes, or B, he will be benched. So I actually think that Robbie, considering the first couple of fixtures, I think I would actually prefer having Robbie, to be honest. But so Richarlison is a no-go for me. Calvert-Lewin, the safest option. Robbie, the next safest, while Igor Jesus is more of a punt. I have shared my team. No Erling Haaland bench boost 1 to your X post from FPL risk taker. Nice. So let's have a look at a couple of other teams as well. So I think this team, Wish Malhotra, I think this team looks really good, to be honest. I would actually keep it as it is, Igor Jesus. If you have a feeling that he will do well, just keep him. But with that said, Calvert-Lewin, he is definitely the safest option, and Calvert-Lewin, he can actually potentially hurt your rank. But of course, if Igor Jesus outscores Calvert-Lewin in game week 1, you will be laughing. Most probably you will get a green arrow. So a couple of safe options in there with both Erling Haaland, Bruno Fernandes. I think it's fine to take a couple of risks like Igor Jesus and Kevin Schade. Football World, hi man, I'm really stuck on who to pick, Solis or Odegaard. I think I would go for Solis. Both priced at 6.5. Both will most probably start. But Solis, he has looked really good in preseason, and he had like 40 goal contributions in the Belgian league last season, and in the preseason for Arsenal, he has just continued his fine form. So Solis at 6.5, I think he is a really good option. What's FPL without risk? Yes, I'll stick with Igor. Yeah, I think you should stick with Igor Jesus, to be honest. He is definitely a really good option. And so when it comes to Calvert-Lewin, Brobby, Igor Jesus, all of them are really good options. Calvert-Lewin, he is the most popular, the most selected player in this, therefore the safest option. But Igor Jesus, Brobby, they can easily outscore Calvert-Lewin in the opening. What's your league code? So I think the league code is in the description. Let's see. I have like a live, I can write it in the chat as well. Let's see if I can actually just get the link. So I have made a live league. So for anyone participating in those live streams, it would be really fun to have a live league as well. So I have a regular league, but there are a lot of participants in that one. So of course, if you're interested, you can go join that one as well. But if you're interested in participating in the live league, please use this link. So I have a channel member league as well. So if you're interested in becoming a channel member, it's possible, and this will give access to the Discord channel, member badges, emojis, early access as well. With this team, when do I ideally free hits and wildcard? So with this team, by starting with Erling Haaland, so it's like you don't really have to plan for your free hit. So the reason why a lot of FPL managers are planning to use their free hit in Game Week 3 is because of the fact that Erling Haaland, Man City, they will play at home against Coventry. So there will be a lot of players captaining Erling Haaland in Game Week 3. Triple captain as well. So there is a risk involved with going without Erling Haaland in Game Week 3. So with this team, I wouldn't really plan my free hits. Use it whenever you need it later on in the season, maybe even closer to Christmas. But I would consider wildcarding in Game Week 6. So there will be an international break between Game Week 5 and Game Week 6. This will give you 2 weeks to get more information and tinker with your team. So with this team, my initial plan would be to save my free hit, maybe triple captain in Game Week 3, and use the wildcard in Game Week 6. So, a solid team from Wish Malhotra. We had a look at Edwig's team, so let's refresh this. So this is from FPL Risk Taker. So FPL Game Week 1, here we go. Erling Haaland less and bench boosting Game Week 1. Home run or go home style start with FPL 26-27 season. Nice intro there from FPL Risk Taker. 3 Man United, 3 Arsenal, double up on Sunderland versus the promoted teams. Early season form from Tsulis and Pedro with flavor of Igor, Thiago. Nice. So nice context provided by FPL Risk Taker, and this is the actual team. Let's have a look. So it's Raya in goal with Gabriel, so 2 of the safest options from the Arsenal defense. We have Luke Shaw in there as well, and O'Reilly, so kind of an expensive defense, 2 of the most expensive defenders in Gabriel and O'Reilly, and one of the best value options in Luke Shaw. So a solid defense in my opinion. Semenyo is in there. I think if you're going without Erling Haaland, it makes sense including Semenyo. So Tsulis, he's in 6.5, really good form in preseason and 40 goal contributions last season as well. Assist against Man City, so I think Tsulis is a really good option at 6.5. And Bumo is in, Sangare is in as well, the Nottingham Forest version of Sangare. I actually prefer upgrading to the Brentford Sangare at 5.5, but of course Sangare is one of the players with potential of picking up defensive contributions. Bruno Fernandes, captain, Joao Pedro and Igor Thiago up front. So there's no Calvert-Lewin in this team, gone for Brobbey, so a differential, and we have Aina, Trey Hume, two of the best 4.5 defensive options in my opinion, and Verbruggen, the best 4.5 goalkeeper in my opinion. So a really solid team. Hopefully this will give you a good start to the season. So don't have any players playing against each other, so definitely a solid team for game week 1 in my opinion. So it's a couple of safe options, double up on Man United midfield, but there are certainly a couple of nice differentials in there as well, and FPL risk taker certainly living up to his name by going without Erling Haaland in game week 1. Football and stuff, thanks for joining in. Bench boost game week 1, what would you say is a successful bench boost? So I think a successful bench boost is like having at least 12 points. So it doesn't really sound much, 12 points, but this means that you most probably at least have one return from one of your 4 players on your bench boost. Of course, it's a bit different in the second half of the season where we have double game weeks and stuff like that. But in the first half of the season, I think everything from 12 to 15 points is decent. Everything above 15 points is a bonus. And if it's below 12, it's kind of meh. Not Nepo, Verbruggen, Kinski. I love this rotation. It's probably one of the best 4.5 rotations we have seen in a couple of seasons. Luke Shaw, Calafiori, Trey Hume, Colville, Muaremovic, Solis, Nagumua, Florian Wirtz, Bruno Fernandes, Pascal Gross, Pedro, Brobbey is my team. So I like this team. There are a couple of players I'm not really 100% sure about. Colville, I'm not really sure if I'm interested in Chelsea defense before they have played against Arsenal in game week 3. From game week 4 and onwards, Chelsea, they have really good fixtures, but of course if you can bench Colville in game week 3, it's probably decent. Nogmua, the Chelsea, I'm sorry, the Liverpool winger. So of course Salah, he has gone, but I can't really see Nogmua playing 90 minutes week in, week out. He's predicted to start for Liverpool in game week 1, but to be honest, I'm not really sure how good of an FPL asset he is at the moment. So he will most probably start, but we would like to see some returns from him before considering him in FPL. But let's have a look at a couple of other teams. So there are teams in the chat, there are teams on X as well. So if you're interested in having your teams reviewed, head over to X, find this post. It's the game week 1 deadline stream, and let's have a discussion with your team up on the screen. So Vish Malhotra, we had a look at this. We FPL risk taker, solid team. So let's have a look at Jairzinho as well. 15 minutes ago, bench boost in game week 2, no free hit or wildcard planned. Nice. So this will give you a bit more flexibility. Bench boost in game week 2. Let's have a look at this team. So I said this earlier, one of the reasons why there are a lot of FPL managers planning to use their free hit in game week 3 is actually the fact that we don't have Erling Haaland, and Erling Haaland, he might punish non-owners in game week 3 playing at home against Coventry. So there will be a lot of FPL managers captaining Erling Haaland and even triple captaining Erling Haaland in game week 3. Ron Chapel, hey bro, hope you're good. All good. Thanks for joining in once again. Really appreciate it. So there are a lot of teams posted on X, a lot of teams in the chat as well. Can't really keep it up. I'm sorry about that, but I will try to take as many teams as I possibly can, and please send reminders in the chat if I forget about your team. But on the screen at the moment, it's Jairzinho's team. When you review my draft, please give me a piece of advice. Should I keep it and bench boost game week 2, or get Diop and bench boost in game week 1? So if you have any thoughts about this question, let us know in the chat. But let's have a quick look at the team. So it's Lammens in goal, double up on the Arsenal defense with Ben White and Calafiori. Ballard is in really solid 5 million option. I think if I had 0.5, so at the moment I actually have Trey Yube in my team, but if I had the 0.5, I would go for Ballard myself. In midfield, Semenyo, Solis, Kevin Schade, and Mbumo. So no Bruno Fernandes, but up front we have Erling Haaland, and he is the captain. Joe Pedro is in there, Calvert-Lewin, and on the bench, Florian Wirtz, Muharemovic, and Van Ewijk. Kinski on the bench as well. So one option with this team is to actually sell Van Ewijk, get Diop and bench boost in game week 1. I think I would stick to the game week 2 bench boost plan, to be honest. I would be a bit annoyed having Florian Wirtz on my bench though, so maybe with this team I think I actually would go for a bench boost in game week 1, to be honest. So sorry about going back and forth, but I think having Florian Wirtz priced at 7.5 is a bit much, so I think with this team I would sell Van Ewijk, bring in Diop, home fixture against Sunderland. Don't have any Sunderland attackers in this team, so Van Ewijk to Diop, bench boost in game week 1, and this, that will probably be my strategy with this team, to be honest. And you will have a bit more information ahead of game week 2, right? So it might be an easy benching decision if you get someone, if someone picks up a suspension or an injury, you might actually avoid a benching headache ahead of game week 2. So with this team, definitely go for an Ipswich 4 million defender like Diop and play your bench boost in game week 1. Kylie Wilson, what do you think of my team? Kinski, Maguire, Calafiori, Trey Yube, and Bruno Fernandes. And Mbumo, Florian Wirtz, Enzo Lefebvre up front, Alexander Isak, Erling Haaland, and Calvert-Lewin. So I haven't seen too many teams with both Alexander Isak and Erling Haaland. So this is a top-heavy team. We have Calvert-Lewin priced at 6 million in there as well. But Enzo Lefebvre, really good 6 million option. So it's actually a really strong team. Bruno Fernandes is in, Erling Haaland is in, Mbumo is in, Alexander Isak is in. I'm actually kind of interested to see who we have on the bench. It's probably the cheapest possible options on the bench, right? So you probably don't have any plans to play your bench boost early this season. But of course, this starting 11 looks really solid. Can't really fault this. I think Enzo Lefebvre is interesting. He has been in couple of my drafts as well. So Maguire, Calafiori, Trey Yube, all really good options for game week 1. Goodies, I'm a Chelsea fan too, so you can probably figure out what team is mine. We will have a look at a couple of other teams as well. Orange Apple for my draft start 3 are Nunez, Nagmua, Gravenberch, Garcia, and Collins. So the thing is that when it comes to Nunez, we're not 100% sure that he will start, right? But if he does, he's probably solid. But I think I would actually go, since this is drafts, maybe I would go for Ngomua, Garcia, and Collins. So those are definitely not the most discussed options. But seeing this is a draft team, there are actually a lot of interesting players that's being discussed when we take a look at draft teams, because the player pool is a bit more limited. I played draft a couple of seasons ago. I kind of enjoyed it, but I couldn't really maintain my passion for the draft team throughout the season. But I will definitely try this later on, but maybe even the FPL Challenge, is that the name? But it's been full focus for me on regular FPL ahead of the 26-27 season. But I like this team on the screen, Kevin Schade. I have discussed him earlier as well, only selected by 3.5. He has done really well for Brentford in preseason, so definitely a really good option. Noah MCKs, do you think Valegli starts game week 1? At least he is predicted to start, so we might actually have a 4.5 star starting forward. Will he actually get any FPL points? I'm not really sure, but he might pick up a start, but I can't really see him doing much. But of course, playing up front, being in the box, anything can happen. And at 4.5, that's definitely could be really, really good value. Miss Christina, White and Pascal Gross, or Ballard and Kevin Schade. Ooh, it's close. It's a bit dependent on your chip strategy. If you're planning on an early wildcard, I think I would go for White and Pascal Gross. If you don't really have any plans for a wildcard, then Ballard, Kevin Schade is probably a bit better long term. That's at least that's my first thought when looking at those players. The thing is that we know that Timber, he will be back. I think Arteta said a few weeks. I'm not really sure for how many game weeks, 2-3 game weeks. Timber might be back, and this means rotation for Ben White, right? So at the start of the season, Ben White, he is a really good pick at 5.5, but at some point he will be a rotation threat. Good to see you again, mates. Hope you've been keeping well. Yes, all good. Thanks for joining in, and thanks for coming back. Really, really appreciated. 2 hours, 30 minutes until game week 1 deadline. I'm really excited. So there are a lot of teams posted on X. Really appreciate that. Let's have a quick look at my team as well. Haven't really talked you through my team, so let's give this a couple of minutes as well. So this is my team for game week 1. Lamen single, double up on Arsenal with Gabriel and Calafiori. I have Trey Hume, 4.5 defender that potentially might play right wing for Sunderland. So I said this like 10 minutes ago. If I had a 0.5 available, I would probably upgrade Trey Hume to Ballard, but this is my defense. Calafiori, Gabriel, Trey Hume. On my bench, I have the double up on Coventry, and the reason for this is the fact that I will play my bench boost in game week 2. So in game week 2, Coventry, they have a really good game playing at home against Hull City. In midfield, I have gone for Florian Wirtz, more of a differential compared to Szoboszlai, so I have, of course, the opportunity to go for Szoboszlai and Trey Hume to Ballard, but I actually would like to have a couple of differentials in my team. So Florian Wirtz, Trey Hume, they are in for now. And Bruno Fernandes, he will be my captain. I have Semenyo, no Erling Haaland in this team, so I really would like to have at least one attacker from Man City. So Semenyo, he is in. So up front, João Pedro, Alexander Isak, and Calvert-Lewin. So on the bench, Tavernier as well. I will bench him. He can easily be benched in game week 1 playing away against Man City, but he will be ready on my game week 2 bench boost playing at home against Everton. And of course, the same goes for my benched goalkeeper Petrovic. So double up on Bournemouth. Historically, they have been really good playing at home, so hopefully they can do well against Everton in game week 2, and hopefully Coventry, of course, hopefully they can keep a clean sheet against Hull City in game week 2 as well. What's your thoughts on Phil Foden as a punt? I like him as a punt, but I didn't really like what I saw from Phil Foden in the Community Shield game on Sunday. He looked a bit lost. He was like, he had his back through the Arsenal goal. Didn't really attack. Didn't really carry the ball into threatening positions. But of course, he took some corners from the right with his left foot, while Elliot Anderson, he took from the opposite side. So Phil Foden, we know what he can do. He will most probably start, especially seeing that Jeremy Doku is injured. So Phil Foden, he might actually play on one of the wings as well. So definitely Phil Foden's minutes, they are really good at the moment. We have seen that Savinho, he will most probably play for Spurs soon as well. So at the moment, Phil Foden, good for minutes. If you just judge by the game on Sunday, I would say that he's not in his best form, but of course this was just one game, and actually the reports from preseason is that Phil Foden is in good form. So no World Cup, he's been rested, he's had a really good preseason. So at 7 million, I don't hate Phil Foden, but my preferred option is actually Semenyo at the moment. So that took like 2 minutes to talk about Foden, a lot of words, but I could have just said Foden is decent, right? Football, where my team includes Kinski and Verbruggen in goal. That team disappeared, sorry about that. O'Reilly in defense, Ben White, Calafiori, Maguire, and Ballard. So kind of an expensive defense. Will most probably get a couple of benching headaches later on, but in midfield, Semenyo, Bruno Fernandes, Soboslai, and Bumo, and Solis up front. Igor Thiago, Joao Pedro, and Calvert-Lewin. I think this is a really good team, ready for a bench boost. My only worry with this team is that they don't really have any enablers that's easily benched in game week 2. So maybe I would consider at least Maguire to Luke Shaw, maybe Ballard to Treyum, and this would give you 1 million to upgrade later on. Yeah, that would be my... It's at least for me, it's a bit easier to bench a 4.5 million defender compared to a 5 million defender, right? And you will have more of your budget invested in your actual starting 11. So by having Maguire, by having Ballard, you will have to bench 1 or 2 of them every game week. So this will be a lot of funds on your bench every game week after your bench boost. Dybala, Firmino, Phil Foden, Lamens, and a 4.5 defender like De Kuiper or Rodon, or Sangare, the Brentford one, or Raya and Vuskovic. Ooh, I just talked about Foden. Maybe a Phil Foden punt could be really, really interesting. Let's have a quick look at Phil Foden's ownership as well. I haven't really checked recently. I have had Phil Foden in a couple of my drafts. So only priced at 7 million, only selected by 4.4% of the managers. So Phil Foden, Lamens, and Luke Shaw. Phil Foden, Lamens, and Treyum. Or of course you can go for De Kuiper and Rodon. So the latest on De Kuiper is the fact that he's not nailed on to start for Brighton. So football and stuff, if you're still in the chat, please let us know. Is De Kuiper actually nailed on, or is he still a minute's risk heading into game week 1? So with that said, let's have a couple of teams up on the screen. So if you're interested in having your team reviewed, head over to X, find this post, the game week 1 deadline stream, and post your picture in the comments. So if you haven't done so already, please consider giving the stream a like. This would be really, really helpful. So this was Wish Malhotra. We had FPL Risk Taker, Jacinho, the team we just had a look at. Edvix, we had a look at your team, right? Didn't we? Correct me if I'm wrong. Grus, I sent mine on X. Yeah. I couldn't find it. Let's see. Grus, the Chelsea fan. Can't really see your team. Let's have another try. That's strange. Let's see. One more time. But I saw it going from 7 to 8 comments, so you're probably right, but I'm not really sure why I can't get your team up. Maybe if you try following. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. This is not the best content 2 hours before the deadline. Let's give this one more try, and if it's not here, it will probably be available in a couple of minutes, but not really sure why I can only see those teams. So it says it's 8 comments, 9 comments. Let's see if this helps. One last try. So Wish Malhotra, FPL risk taker. There we go. This is probably it. All positive, negative criticism is welcome. So let's have a look at this team as well. So please let us know in the chat as well if you have any comments about the teams. It's definitely allowed. So Noah M. Capes, my bench is Kinski, Trey Hume, Pascal Gross, and Valle Egli. Should I do a bench boost in game week 1? Thanks. Yes, I think if you're willing to take a risk that Valle Egli definitely will start. So I'm not 100% sure. At least he is in the predicted starting 11. So 4.5, you can bench him after your bench boost. So I think that actually starting with Valle Egli, considering the fact that he might start, I think this is a good strategy. And you have Trey Hume with a good fixture. You have Kinski starting goalkeeper for Spurs, and you have Pascal Gross penalty taker for Brighton. So definitely good enough for a bench boost, in my opinion. But let's have a look at this team. So in the chat from Jack, oops on the Kuiper. So I have mentioned this myself, and actually 1 week ago, I think it was 1 week before the deadline, we had a similar stream like this, and we had a Brighton fan in the chat, football and stuff. He said that the Kuiper, he is not nailed on to start for Brighton. So I think there potentially are better 4.5 options available in defense. So let's see if we can sort this out. So Lummens, Kinski in goal, Calafiori, Ayer, De Kuiper, O'Shea, and Ballard. Buendia, I actually like Buendia. I have looked at him as well. He's potentially on penalties for Aston Villa. I don't really love their fixtures, but of course, Aston Villa, they are usually a bit underrated before the season starts, but as we have seen in the last couple of seasons, they usually have a good season opening. So Buendia, 6 million, really good value potentially. Florian Wirtz is in, Phil Foden, punt. We have Mbumo and Solis. Up front, Pedro, Alexander Isak, Erling Haaland. So my first thought, seeing this team has no Bruno Fernandes, I think that I would go De Kuiper to Luke Shaw, doubling up on the doubling up on the Man United defense with Lummens and Luke Shaw. And Mbumo. So I think this team looks really good on paper. If you sell the Kuiper, you avoid having Buendia playing against the Kuiper as well. So with this team, definitely the Kuiper out. I think potentially seeing that you only have 2 Man United, you can potentially triple up with Luke Shaw. If you don't want to double up on Man United defense, you can potentially go for Trey Hume, double up on Sunderland instead. So definitely a really, really solid team. I really like it. A couple of differentials mixed in with a couple of safe options. I like Alexander Isak. He's currently in my team as well. And Buendia, Florian Wirtz, Phil Foden, Solis, all of them could do really, really well. So from Rajiv, my first member, thanks a lot for joining in. Please show us your confirmed team. That's a really nice badge. So let's have a look at my team real quick. Actually, I feel really confident in this team, to be honest. So a couple of safe picks combined with some differentials. So I have Lammens in goal, double up on Arsenal with Calafiori and Gabriel, with Trey Hume, who potentially might start as right wing for Sunderland. Really good fixture playing against newly promoted Ipswich. So I actually feel really confident about this defense. On my bench, I have a double up on Coventry, and they are ready to step in on my Game Week 2 bench boost. So really good fixture for Coventry in Game Week 2, playing at home against Hull City. In midfield, I have opted for Florian Wirtz. I really like the positions that he has been taking up during preseason, playing as a clear number 10 for Liverpool. So I think that he will be involved in goals. And Bumo is in, will start as Man United's number 9. Bruno Fernandes, my captain for Game Week 1. And I have Semenyo in. So no Erling Haaland. Semenyo, he is in because I really would like to have at least one attacking player from Man City. Up front, Pedro, Alexander Isak, Calvert-Lewin. So I think this team is really well balanced and ready for Game Week 1, and hopefully this team will bring a lot of points on my Game Week 2 bench boost. So Petrovic, Tavernier, tough game in Game Week 1, so they're easily benched, while in Game Week 2 they will play at home against Everton. So at the moment, this is the team I'm going for. So the only decision I have to make is I can potentially go for Guardiola and Van Dijk instead of Gabriel and Trey Hume, but at the moment I'm leaning towards going for Gabriel and Trey Hume. So bench boosting Game Week 2. In the poll, 54% have actually said that they're going to play their bench boost in Game Week 1, 19% Game Week 2 bench boost, 15% not decided, while 12% of the voters, they have found another game week to play their bench boost. So Game Week 1 bench boost, definitely the favorite at the moment. But this means I'm going against the template bench boost in Game Week 2, trusting Coventry and Bournemouth for my bench boost in Game Week 2. Okay, thank you, Eric. No worries. So are you going with something similar, or are you playing it a bit more safe by going with Erling Haaland? So actually today we have had a look at a couple of teams, but there have been a lot of teams without Erling Haaland as well. So Erling Haaland's ownership, it was like 75%. Let's have a quick look at Erling Haaland's ownership at the moment. 69.4, so it hasn't gone that much down since yesterday. But Erling Haaland, definitely the safest thing would be to start with Erling Haaland, but considering the fact that he hasn't really had any preseason, he had an extended summer break, and he didn't really look that good in the Community Shields. So this is the reason why I'm going without Erling Haaland. I'm following you all the way, Eric. Thanks a lot. That's really, really appreciated. And if you want to follow me like Rajiv, it's actually possible to become a member, and this will give you like this badge. I think it looks really nice. You will get access to the Discord server as well. So let's see if we've had any other teams posted. So if you're interested in even more explanation about my team selection, I actually made a video posted last night. So if you're interested, if you find the time ahead of the deadline, it's available on this channel as well. Let's see if there are any new teams posted, but it's possible to get your team up on the screen for a discussion. Head over to X, find this post, the Game Week 1 deadline stream, post a picture of your latest team selection and let's discuss it. From Dybala Firmino, let's see. Thanks for the criticism. We'll look at the Kuiper alternative. Yeah. Haaland, hey, love the channel. Can you rate my team, please? Kinski, Trey Hume, Shaw, Calafiori. In midfield, Mbumo, Semenyo, Bruno Fernandes, Solis. Up front, Erling Haaland, Pedro, and Calvert-Lewin. On the bench, Rushworth, the Coventry defender Slater, Van Ewijk, and Luke Thomas. I think this team looks solid, at least. So, at least the bench is not that great, but at least you have starters on your bench, right? So this is most probably a bench boost game week 2 team, triple up on Coventry. So you will have Rashford, Van Ewijk, and Thomas at home against Hull in game week 2. Those other options, Erling Haaland, Pedro, Calvert-Lewin, all solid. Solis, 6.5 Arsenal midfielder that will start. Bruno Fernandes, Semenyo, Mbumo, Calafiori, Luke Shaw, Trey Hume, with Kinski in starting 11. I think this team looks really, really good. Can't really fault this team, to be honest, especially if you're considering a game week 2 bench boost. It's a bench boost 2 team, yeah. Really good, looks solid. You have done your homework and research, and this team will hopefully, it's kind of similar to a lot of my players, so hopefully you will get a really good start to the 26-27 season. Who is the best 4 million defender for a bench boost in game week 1? Probably Diop. Considering that he actually is the player, especially when we take a look at statistics, of course, it's really, really close, but I think Diop is the player that picked up the most defensive contribution points per 90 minutes. So, yeah, probably Diop. He has some attacking threat as well. You can, of course, go for a bit more fun pick, especially if you're going to watch the game, like Davis. Sorry, priced at 4 million. It's a bit more attacking, but it doesn't really have that defensive contribution potential, but you can get attacking returns. So putting a lot of crosses into the box, so Life Davis could be interesting as well. So if you only need this player for game week 1, then probably I would go for Davis, to be honest. Let's see. Irish Peter, Lammens, Verbruggen, Calafiori, O'Brien, Rodon, Robertson, Bruno Fernandes, NGI, Pascal Gross, Mbumo, and Solis up front. Erling Haaland, Joe Pedro, and Brobbey, or Calvert-Lewin at 50-50. I actually think that since you have both Bruno Fernandes and Erling Haaland, 2 of the safest options, I think I actually would go for Brobbey. It's really, really close between them, so if it's a 50-50 decision, I think I actually would go for the less owned player and try to be a bit more different by going for Brobbey. But yeah, Bench boost in game week 1, free hit in game week 3, wildcard in game week 6 or onwards. My plan, probably. So let's have another quick look at your team. So you will have Pedro playing against Calafiori. I don't necessarily think that this team really needs a free hit in game week 3, to be honest. We only have Pedro playing against Calafiori. Erling Haaland, he's already there, so my advice would definitely be to just have a look at your team ahead of game week 3 and don't really plan to use the free hit. You might actually not need your free hit in game week 3. So I know free hit in game week 3 is a really popular strategy, but with this team you can potentially save your free hit for later. So I have said this a couple of times, so free hit in game week 3, really popular strategy, but I think this is mostly because there are some engaged FPL managers going without Erling Haaland because of the reduced preseason and extended summer holiday, stuff like that. So if you don't have Erling Haaland, it would be really tempting to use the free hit in game week 3 to bring him in. So he will be heavily captained in game week 3. So Man City playing at home against newly promoted Coventry. So of course, huge risk in game week 3 going without Erling Haaland. At the moment, he's selected by 69.5% of the managers, and his effective ownership will most probably be close to 150 in game week 3. No Liverpool, so no Liverpool. I didn't really, to be honest, I didn't really see the no Liverpool. No Liverpool in this one. I'm not really sure about going without any Liverpool assets, to be honest. Actually, at the moment, I've doubled up on Liverpool with both Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak. And one of the reasons for this is the fact that Liverpool actually have the best opening fixtures. So, of course, if you don't really think that Liverpool will do well, then you should just stick with your team and avoid Liverpool assets. Aston Villa, no Aston Villa assets. I think this is fine, to be honest. They haven't really showed that great preseason form. They have sold some of their most important players. So Konsa, he's on the way out. They have sold Tielemans as well. So going without Aston Villa, I think this is fine for now. Kinski, Verbruggen, Calafiori, White, Maguire, and Rodon. Diop. That's a lot of players. Kinski, Verbruggen in goal, Calafiori, White, Maguire, Rodon, Diop in defense. Enzo Lefebvre, Mbumo, Solis, Bruno Fernandes, and Gomez up front, Pedro Haaland, and Calvert-Lewin. I think all of those are really good FPL options. You have a balanced team. Diop will be on your bench most game weeks. It's probably a game week 1 bench boost team, right? This was from AJF Edits. Yes, hey Shamdrush, what are your thoughts on Solis? I actually like Solis. He has been in a couple of my drafts. 6.5, really good value. Good preseason form for Arsenal. Martinelli is not looking likely to start, so Solis, I think he is nailed on. He's in the predicted starting 11 for Arsenal, and they showed some really good form in the Community Shield game against Man City on Sunday. So 40 goal contributions for Solis last season, so he has been really close to entering my team as well. But at the moment, no Solis for me, but you can't have them all. Let's have a quick look at the poll as well. So game week 1 bench boost 51%, game week 2 bench boost 20%, not decided yet 16% of the votes, and found a better game week 13%. So game week 1 bench boost is definitely the most popular option. Your microphone has a problem. That's not good. Hopefully the microphone problem will solve itself. So hopefully that's not too annoying. I just saw a drop in viewers, so I remember last season, maybe a couple of viewers at the moment or in the chat remember that when I started doing those streams, I had a lot of problems with my microphone, but it has been better, especially from Christmas and all the way at the end of the 25-26 season and in the World Cup as well. My microphone has been a bit better, but hopefully it's not trying to ruin the streams going forward. But thanks a lot for letting me know in the chat. Hopefully it will be fixed. %52 for game week 1 bench boost. So game week 1 bench boost 1. I will go against this. My plan is actually to bench boost in game week 2. So my team is the team on the screen at the moment. If you're interested in having your team reviewed, head over to X, post a picture of your team in the comments on my latest post, and we'll get your team up on the screen as well. But this is my team at the moment. Lammens in goal, double up with Calafiori and Gabriel in defense, and I have the Sunderland defender Trey Hume. Florian and Bumo, Bruno Fernandes, Semenyo in midfield, and up front Pedro, Alexander Isak, and Calvert-Lewin. On the bench, I have Petrovic, the goalkeeper, and Tavernier, the Bournemouth midfielder, ready for my game week 2 bench boost. The same goes for my double up on the Coventry defense. So Van Ewijk and Thomas, they are in mostly because of the game week 2 bench boost. So they will stay on my bench most game weeks. Porro replacements. So there are a lot of interesting options at that price point. It kind of depends on who you already have, right? But if you're not triple up on Arsenal, you can potentially go for Ben White or Calafiori. I think those two are the best 5.5 options available in the Arsenal team at the moment. So of course, Guardiola is another really solid option priced at 5.5. You can go for someone like Maguire or Ballard at 5 million as well, or potentially Luke Shaw, Trey Hume if you want to save 1 million. What will be your next transfer after game week 1? So with this team, I'm discussing this in my latest video as well. With this team, my plan is actually to save a transfer heading into game week 2. Hopefully, I will not need to use a transfer ahead of game week 2. So this will give me 2 free transfers ahead of game week 3. And potentially, if Erling Haaland, if he goes ballistic in the first couple of game weeks, I can potentially do something like Alexander Isak, Bruno Fernandes to Erling Haaland. So Bruno Fernandes, really good fixtures in game week 1, game week 2, but I might consider selling Bruno Fernandes and Alexander Isak to bring in Haaland in game week 3. Please let me know. The microphone still has some problems, I guess. So just try to unplug the microphone, put it back in. So hopefully this will help. So I had a problem with my microphone like 1 year ago. Like all of a sudden it just got muted without me pressing any buttons. I found out that this was like a power setting on my computer. So USB devices, they would shut down when my battery on my laptop reached a certain level, but hopefully this is not the same problem. Do you fancy Mattis Tell as a punt for game week 1? Not really, because he's not that explosive of an FPL asset. Of course, big punt will help your rank, of course, if it does well, but there are a lot of really good options in that price point at the moment. I think if you want to go for a punt from Spurs, I think Solanke, he has been confirmed to be fit, so maybe Solanke if you want to take a punt on Spurs. I think if you want to go for a differential in midfield, my definite favorite at the moment is actually Kevin Schade from Brentford. Now the microphone is good. It's okay now. Thanks a lot. Great news. So the microphone is back on. Nice. This is my team for game week 1. Let's run through it real quick before taking a look at a couple of other of your teams. So if you're interested in having your team reviewed, head over to X, post a picture under my latest post, and we'll get your team up on the screen. But this is my team with a bench boost in game week 2 plan. So before discussing this team, let's just put up a new poll. So the bench boost in game week 1 was the clear favorite. So let's finish this one and put up another poll as well. So let's see in the poll, Erling Haaland, new question. So game week 1, definitely the favorite in the last poll, but let's have a quick look at Erling Haaland's ownership as well. So at the moment, selected by 69%. Are you going with Erling Haaland? Are you going without? Are you considering going without the Norwegian Man City forward? my team, real quick, I have Lamens in goal, so covering the Man United defense. I have a double up on Arsenal with Calafiori and Gabriel. Treyum is in, so I have said this a couple of times, but if I had the 0.5 million available, I think I would upgrade Treyum to Ballard. In midfield, Florian Wirtz, Mbumo, Bruno Fernandes, Semenyo. Up front, Pedro, Alexander Isak, Calvert-Lewin. So on the bench, Petrovic and Tavernier ready for my game week 2 bench boost. And I have a double up on Coventry. So in game week 2, they will play at home against Hull, so they will be ready for my bench boost as well. So I have an option of downgrading Florian Wirtz to Soboslai and upgrading Treyum to Ballard. I can also do something like Gabriel and Treyum to Guardiol and Van Dijk, but at the moment I'm leaning towards this team. It's 1 hour 51 minutes until the deadline, so we're getting really, really close. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, it's actually possible to become a member of the channel, and this will give access to the Discord channel, and you will get early access. You will get custom badge as well. So that would be really, really appreciated. If you're not interested in becoming a channel member, I would really appreciate if you gave the stream a like. And it's possible to join the live league as well. The link is in the description down below. And I just posted the auto join link in the chat as well. So if you're interested in attending more of those streams, I will keep track of this league during the live stream. So if you're interested, please make sure to join the live league as well. So if you want to have a team review, head over to X, find this post, the Game Week 1 deadline stream, post a picture of your team, and we'll get it up on the screen. Oops. So X is playing up, not really sure. Refresh the page. Seems like it's working now. So this was Wish Malhotra, FPL risk taker. Not really sure what's going on. There we go. Yeah, Sinyo's team. Edwix, we had a look at your team as well. So we'll be live for like 10 more minutes. So if you're interested in having your team reviewed, head over to the X post I just showed you and drop a picture of your latest team. So in the graphics, we can see that Mateta, Sesko, Saka, they are confirmed to be fit for game week 1. Same goes for Lamens, Cole Palmer, Rice, they will all be available for selection for game week 1. Right, the Coventry forward, he will miss out. The same goes for the Fulham centre back Anderson. Ikitiki, Timber, Saliba, all of them will miss out. So the latest news is that Solanke, he will be available as well. So we have had a couple of teams with Richarlison in. My advice would be to actually go without Richarlison. Just joined your mini league. Nice. I haven't really seen how many participants there are in the live league, but hopefully during the season there will be a lot of participants in the live league as well. I haven't really promoted it that much, but we'll continue to mention the live league during streams later on as well. So if you're interested in becoming a member of the channel, I will have live streams the night before every deadline, and I will have deadline streams like this. So this is an early deadline stream, so I will not be live this evening on the actual deadline. So I have some commitments this evening, So going for an early game week 1 discussion ahead of this season. So I haven't really made any changes to my drafts for a couple of days. I think this is really close to being locked in. My only decision to make is, do I stick with Gabriel and Trey Hume, or do I go for Guardiola and Van Dijk? I actually like Van Dijk, and as you can see in the graphics, I have Van Dijk in my watch list as well. Man City defenders, I don't hate the idea of going for Man City defenders. As mentioned, this is my team. It's with Gabriel and Trey Hume, but I have considered going for Guardiola and Van Dijk instead. So if I were to pick a Man City defender, I think Guardiola at 5.5 looks to be really good value. So of course O'Reilly, a bit more attacking threat, but I'm not really sure if O'Reilly is worth 6.5 when we have Guardiola available at 1 million less. So this was from Messi. City defenders, I don't hate the idea, but I don't have any City defenders in my team at the moment. Solomon King, how do I send my team for rating? I got 1 million in the bank. Nice. Messi, thanks. No worries. Best of luck for game week 1. So Solomon, if you want your team up on the screen, head over to X. I'll show you real quick. Head over to X. So it's the same handle as on YouTube. It's at FPLTFS. FPLTFS on X. Find this post, the game week 1 deadline stream, and just post a picture of your team in the comment section. So this goes for everyone. If you're interested in having your team on the screen for a quick discussion, head over to X, find this post, the game week 1 deadline stream, drop a picture of your team, and we'll get it up on the screen. Of course, if you're not on X, it's possible to just write your team in the chat as well. We'll give it a review. So if you're new around here, I do those streams every night before the deadline. So I had one yesterday evening as well. Every night before the deadline, I have a Q&A, and I usually have deadline streams like this as well. So this one is a bit earlier than usual. I have some commitments this evening, so it's kind of hard for me to be live on the actual deadline, but I will be live for like 8 to 10 more minutes, so there's still time for a couple of reviews if you're interested. So top 3 predicted goal scorers: Erling Haaland. Gyökeres is actually second. I'm not really sure about Gyökeres. The bookies believe in Gyökeres, but my advice would definitely be to stay away. I'm not really sure if Gyökeres will start. He did not start on Sunday when Arsenal played against Man City in the Community Shield. So even though Gyökeres is one of the bookies' favorites to score, I would avoid him for game week 1. Semenyo, he is the next player, 46% of a Semenyo goal in game week 1. When it comes to clean sheets, Arsenal, they are the favorites to keep a clean sheet. Playing at home against Coventry, this should be a good fixture. Man United, Man City, both of them are predicted to keep a clean sheet in game week 1. So we discussed Man City players. Man City, they are actually third when it comes to the bookies' predicted clean sheets. Sent my team, but in the replies, nice. We'll have a look at your team, Solomon. Krish, team locked in, Raya, White, Calafiori, so a triple up on Arsenal, Raya, White, Calafiori. Really good value, White, Calafiori. I like this combination, even though at some point there might be rotation. But at the start of the season, White Calafiori is definitely good options. They are good options. Ballard is in there as well. Maguire. Sorry. Ballard, Maguire, two really good 5 million options, and O'Reilly 6.5. So this is a really expensive defense. Bruno, Mbumo, Dewsbury Hall, Phil Foden, Soboslai, Thiago, Pedro, and Calvert-Lewin. Yes. So before reading bench boosting game week 1, I actually understood that this was a game week 1 bench boost team. It looks really good. You have 15 really strong options. I think my only worry with this team is that it will have a lot of benching headaches from game week 2 and onwards. So I think I actually would do something like Ballard to Trey Hume, Maguire to Luke Shaw. And this will make it a bit easier to bench those players in game week 2. And this will give you 1 million extra available as well. So Ballard to Trey Hume, Maguire to Luke Shaw. And this will give you 1 extra million for your next transfer. So let's see in the comments for new teams posted. I'm not really sure what's going on with X. It's kind of slow. Wasn't like this 30 minutes ago. So Solomon, I got 1 million in the bank. Solomon King, nice. The team is in the comments, so let's have a look. Oops. There we go. So this is Solomon's team. Let's see. It's Lamens in goal, Calafiori, Nico Williams, another really solid option. Nottingham Forest priced at 5 million. He has been taking up really good positions during preseason, so definitely one to consider. Playing at home against Leeds and seeing that you don't have Calvert-Lewin, I like the inclusion of Nico Williams. So Maguire is in as well. Enzo Lefebvre in midfield. Bruno Fernandes, Semenyo, Soboslai, and up front, Brobbey, Erling Haaland, and João Pedro. So I like this team. Frimpong is in. I'm not really sure about Frimpong. I actually think I would prefer having Kirkis, but a bit more attacking threat from Frimpong, as he might actually play right wing if Enogbua is subbed off early. So Verbruggen, good 4.5 option. Kevin Schade, a really nice differential. And Van Ewijk as well, a really good option. So with this team, it's probably a game week 2 bench boost. You can potentially at least activate your bench boost for game week 2. I wouldn't play the bench boost in game week 1 Van Ewijk playing against Arsenal, but if you want to get the bench boost out of the way, you can potentially sell Van Ewijk, invest in Ipswich defense like Diop or Leif Davis, and play your bench boost in game week 1. But I really like this team. Can't really fault this team. I'm sorry, I said Bruno Fernandes, of course, is Mbumo and Erling Haaland up front. Mbumo captain. I haven't really seen Mbumo captains, but this could be a really good differential. So we know that he will play up front, starting as Man United's number 9 in game week 1. So against Hull, probably the worst team in the league at the moment. So this should be a really good team. Prashant, hi. Front 3 of Erling Haaland, Alexander Isak, Pedro. In defense, Gabriel Calafiori, Rodon, Shaw, and Diop. In midfield, Solis, Pascal Gross, Gravenberch, Mbumo, Enzo Lefebvre. Bench boosting game week 1, 0.5 in the bank. Should I add a 5 million def? I think you potentially should do something with Gravenberch, to be honest. I'm not really a big fan of Ryan Gravenberch when it comes to FPL. Priced at 6 million. I think I actually would prefer having Kevin Schade in there, to be honest. But he is a differential, so if you think that Gravenberch, of course he can get defensive contributions, and if you think that Ryan Gravenberch can pick up attacking returns, just stick with Ryan Gravenberch. But in preseason he has been playing really deep, so I can't really see him contributing with too many attacking returns. What do you think of Mitchell from Palace? He's very good game week 4, 5, 6 when I would need it. My alternative is Mykolenko or a Leeds defender. So you're targeting a 4.5. Well, this is from Matthias. You're targeting a 4.5 defender, right? So my favorite options are probably Luke Shaw and Treyum, but Mitchell was actually in my first draft, so I think he will play 90 minutes most weeks and he can contribute with attacking returns as well. But Palace, how good are they at the moment, and how many clean sheets will Crystal Palace actually keep? I'm not too convinced about Mitchell and Mykolenko. I think Rodon at 4.5 probably is the best option. Gaming with Cobble Monster, Raya, Ingle, Calafiori, Maguire, Ballard, Bruno Fernandes, Florian Wirtz, NGI, Solis. Up front, Erling Haaland, Joe Pedro, and Calvert-Lewin. On the bench, Gomez, Thomas, and Van Ewijk. Bench boosting game week 2. I think the team looks solid. It's kind of similar to mine. I have a bench boost 2 lined up as well, and I have both Thomas and Van Ewijk ready. So Raya, safe option. Calafiori should be good for the first game weeks. Maguire, Ballard, 2 of my favorite 5 million options in defense. Bruno Fernandes, Florian Wirtz, and Jait Solis. I think this team looks really good. Gaming with Cobble Monster, definitely your team is good to go for game week 1. 1 hour, 34 minutes left. You should just relax. So this was Solomon, a really solid team in my opinion. Let's have a look. This will probably be the last one. Let's have a look at this one as well. So this is from Virat Kohli. Let's see if I can make it a bit bigger. There we go. Not sure about the captaincy yet. Maybe change it to Solis or Semenyo. So both of them are definitely punts. Against Coventry, I would probably go for Solis. Semenyo against Bournemouth. Thanks for the review. No worries, Solomon King, and best of luck for game week 1. Kind of scared Baby Mo scoring a brace. Yeah, So he will start up front for Man United. So we know Sesko, he has been injured. He's in training, he will be in the squad, but I think Mbumo definitely will start up front. Even Bruno Fernandes, he actually said in an interview that we should captain Mbumo. I said mine as well. Can you check that, please? Suleiman, yes, I think we had a look at your team right earlier on. I will give it a look in a minute, but let's have a look at Virat Kohli's team. Kinski in goal. I think I would change the captain. Kinski against Brentford. So Kinski is a solid option, but I would definitely not go for Kinski as my captain in game week 1. So it's Luke Shaw, Ballard, Calafiori, Nico Williams, all solid options in midfield. NGI 6 million nailed on starter for Everton on penalties. He has been really close to my team, but at the moment I didn't find a spot for NGI in my own team, but definitely a good option. Bruno Fernandes, Florian Wirtz is there as well, and you can see that there's a punt on Ismail Assar as well. He has actually been rumored to leave Crystal Palace, but I don't really think that this will happen. So Ismail Assar, he is probably good to go. Up front, Joao Pedro, Erling, Haaland. Bench boost is active, so Verbruggen, Kinski rotation. We have seen this a lot, and it's Calvert-Lewin, Sangare, the Brentford one, and we have Mikolenko as well. So my only worry with this team is the fact that if you're playing your bench boost, you will actually have Mikolenko playing against Sar. So this is, of course, not ideal. So if he scores, this means that Mikolenko will blank. If Mikolenko keeps a clean sheet, this means that Ismail Assar will blank. So I would actually consider maybe going for another 4.5 defender. Maybe someone like Mitchell or Treyum instead of Mikolenko. Should I get Harry Maguire and a 4 million defender? I actually think I would prefer having... I think I would go for Luke Shaw, Mikolenko to Diop and keep 0.5 million in the bank. Will Treyum start? Yes, he is predicted to start. So we will most probably either start on the right wing or right back. So at the moment, Treyum, he is actually in my team. I will have a quick look at my team in a minute. But we had a couple of other teams posted on X as well. So there's not too much time left. I will be live for like a couple of minutes, but I'm due. I have to go really soon. So it's 90 minutes left until the deadline. Let's have a quick look at a couple of teams before rounding this stream up. So this is the one, right? Stopper, Soleimani, bench boost in game week 1. So it's Kinski, Verbruggen, another Kinski, Verbruggen rotation. Let's see if we can get this a bit bigger. There we go. Kinski, Verbruggen rotation. This is really solid. Ballard is in my favorite 5 million defender together with Maguire. Both of them are in. Muraremovic, another really good option, and Viskovic is in there as well. So really good DEFCON defenders. You will probably pick up a lot of extra points for those from those defenders. So Captain Bruno Fernandes, same captain as me. Enzo Lefe, he has been in a couple of my drafts as well. Really good fixture. And we have Solis and Bumo in midfield with Haaland, Pedro up front. So of course, it's not 100% ideal having Leif Davis playing against Enzo Lefebvre. So this was the same as the last team, which Malhotra we had a look at. You have attacking players playing against your defenders on a bench boost. So I think considering the fact that we have unlimited transfers, we should try to avoid having our attackers play against our defenders. So if Enzo Lefebvre, if he scores, this will most probably mean that Leif Davis will blank. If Leif Davis, if he keeps a clean sheet, this means that Enzo Lefebvre will blank in game week 1. So maybe go for Leif Davis and another 6 million midfielder, maybe NGI from Everton. One, dude, I just sent my team on your X. What about Kansa? I think Kansa is a wait and see, to be honest, theoretically. 5.5 midfielder, Sangare, nice. Yes, Sangare, the Brentford midfielder, should be a really good option considering his stats from previous seasons. So he can pick up defensive contributions, especially if he can adapt to the Premier League style and he can get attacking returns. So really, really good player. I have seen some highlight reels from Sangare on YouTube, so this is definitely recommended. One Ikwan, so this will probably be the last team. Let's see if we can find one Ikwan's team. So this was stopper. Sorry about that. It's something going on with X. It's really, really slow at the moment. Maybe it's my connection. Hopefully it's not. This was Vish Malhotra, FPL risk taker, Jairzinho, Solomon, stopper, Edwix. Maybe it's in the spam section. There we go. There we go. So the last team reviewed on this stream is one Ikwan in the chat. Okay, thanks for the review, Solomon. No worries and best of luck for game week 1. Dude, I just sent my team on X and this is the actual team. So it's Verbruggen in goal, Munoz, Maguire, Tarkovsky, and Van Dijk. I actually like Van Dijk. I have considered going for Van Dijk myself, but didn't really found a spot for him after going for Gabriel. In midfield, Solis, Pascal Gross, Soboslai, and Mbumo. Up front, Igor Thiago and Calvert-Lewin captain. So this is a team without both Bruno Fernandes and Erling Haaland, two of the most selected players, but there are some really good punts in this team. I like Igor Thiago up front. I like the inclusion of Solis. Is Munoz worth 5.5? Not sure, but in isolation, all of those players are really good FPL options. My only worry with this team is the fact that you will have a lot of benching headaches from game week 2 and onwards. So the team looks really good for bench boosts in game week 1, but you might struggle deciding who to bench from game week 2 and onwards. So you should start Semenyo and Joao Pedro considering their price tags. Calafiori should probably be in. So with this team, Maguire, Pascal Gross, and Tarkovsky on the bench. That's a lot of funds on the bench, to be honest. My advice with this team would be to trying to downgrade a couple of the options. Not really sure if Tarkovsky is worth 6 million. Maybe just go for Mikolenko, Maguire to Luke Shaw, and this will actually give you 2 million available. So you will get the defensive cover from Man City and Everton on your bench boost in game week 1, but you can easily bench Mikolenko and Luke Shaw later on. So with this team, you will have a lot of funds on your bench every game week after your bench boost. So hopefully that made sense. I think I would actually try to still stay in the same teams, but maybe try to have a bit more funds on your actual starting 11. So this is my team for game week 1. Lemons, Calafiori, and Gabriel in defense, so double up on Arsenal. I have gone for Treyum. I have said this a couple of times before, new listeners, new viewers. I think if I had the 0.5 spare in the bank, I would go for Ballard instead of Treyum, but I think Treyum at 4.5 is a decent option. I can potentially go for Soboslai, Florian Wirtz to Soboslai, and upgrade Treyum to Ballard, but at the moment I like the differential appeal of going for Florian Wirtz and Treyum. So I have a double up on Man United, Mbumo, Bruno Fernandes, and Fernandes, he is my captain as well. Semenyo, he is in, Joao Pedro, Florian Wirtz, and Calvert-Lewin. On my bench, double up on Bournemouth, double up on Coventry. They are ready for my game week 2 bench boost. So Bournemouth, they will play at home against Everton, while Coventry, they will play at home against Hull City. Opinions on Ryan for bench boost 2 as a differential. I think Ryan is decent, but considering the fact that he is priced at 6.5, I think there are a couple of other better options priced at 6 million in that Bournemouth team, like Clayford, Tavernier, even of course Krupi Jr. is injured, but I'm not really sure about Ryan, considering that he is 0.5 more expensive. So at the moment, Ryan, he is an avoid for me, but of course, I might be proven wrong, but I think Tavernier, Clayford are better options at the moment. You feel Palace will be good, seeing that you went for Sar. But this is not my team. I don't really think that Palace will be that great. So the Palace team with Sar, that was actually not my team. So the team that's on the screen at the moment, this is actually my team. But I don't really hate Sar as an option, but he's not in my team at the moment. All right, Matt, thanks for the review. Have a great game week for you and all. So thanks a lot. Thanks for sending in your team 1 week 1. Best of luck for game week 1. So for everyone in the chat, thanks a lot for joining in. I have to go, so hopefully you enjoy this stream. I do those streams before every deadline. I do Q&As every night before every deadline. So I had one yesterday evening as well. So if you're interested in joining those streams, please subscribe to the channel. So I have made a live league as well. I will post a link in the comments. So if you're interested in joining the live league, where we can get the league on the screen and discuss the latest game week, please make sure to join the live league. But thanks a lot for joining. Best of luck for game week 1. Please make sure to give this stream a like and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in joining next time.